Hello! This video is in Chinese. We're going to talk about mathematics. No, just kidding. It's in English. This is a review of the Aztec software interdisciplinary study material notes that I have taken for a class of mine. We're doing math, and we have reached the section of shapes. So basically, shapes are basically a combination of line segments joined together or connected. So, and there are different kinds, obviously, and you could have shapes with a different number of sides or line segments that join. The first one is a triangle. So a triangle is a polygon or a shape. So polygon just means multiple sides with 3 straight sides or 3 line segments for sides, and there are obviously 3 angles inside of the triangle or inside the closed shape, and you can label the sides A, B, and C. If the triangle is right, you should be more conscious of which sides are which, because they are not going to be identical, they will be different. But if they are all the same, you can label any which side A, B, and C, and it won't really make a difference. So if all 3 angles inside of a triangle are acute, the triangle is called an acute triangle. If one angle inside, for example, if a triangle has one angle being 81 degrees, one angle being 31 degrees, and the other angle 68 degrees, all of these angles are below 90 degrees, and therefore this is called an acute triangle. Okay, and notice that as a rule, inside of triangles, all 3 angles must add up to 180 degrees, always, for any triangle in the world. It's just a rule. Okie doke. Now, when you have a triangle with one obtuse angle, and the other 2 obviously will have to be acute angles in order for it to add up to 180. This triangle is called an obtuse triangle. So it has to have at least one obtuse angle. Obviously, it's going to have one. So it is impossible to make a triangle with more than one obtuse angle, obviously. Now, in this example of obtuse triangle, the obtuse angle is 121 degrees, another angle is 34, and another angle is 25, and they all must add up to 180. So then, if you have a triangle with a right angle, which means one of the angles is 90 degrees, this is called a right triangle. So one angle is right or 90 degrees, and the other 2 are therefore going to be acute angles, following the rule that 3 angles of a triangle add up to 180. So if one of the angles is 90, the other 2 angles will have to be acute angles or under 90. In this example, one is 90, one is 61, the other is 29. Okay, so we're done with that. In the next section, we might go over some more in later sections. So, okay, now we're talking about perimeter. Perimeter is the sum of the lengths, or the line lengths of the sides in one dimension. For a triangle, the perimeter is found by adding the lengths of the 3 sides. So in any shape, you're just going to add the lengths of all the sides. So triangles is perimeter equals side A plus side B plus side C. So if one side it were 15, then the other 17, the other 11, you would just add those three numbers and you get 43 units, whatever the unit is. When all three sides of a triangle are exactly the same length or measure, this is called an equilateral triangle. So equal being equal, lateral being side, all the sides are equal in this triangle. And when you have an equilateral triangle, all three angles also must measure exactly the same. So for an equilateral triangle, each angle is 60 degrees, which is exactly 1/3 of 180. Since a triangle has all the three angles adding up to 180, you just divide by 3 to find one angle. The next kind of triangle is called an isosceles triangle. So instead of having all three sides being the same, two of the sides are the same, and the third is different. Isosceles. So it's spelled ISOSCELES. Isosceles. So you have the two sides of the triangle are the same, and the angles that are across from those two sides are also going to be the same and identical. And then obviously the third side and the third angle opposite the third side is going to be different. So the third side that is different is called the base, and the two angles that are touching the base are called base angles. So those are the identical angles, which are across from the identical length sides. The top point, which is across from the base, is called the vertex. So the vertex is the third angle of the triangle, which is different from the base angles, or the two angles opposite the two identical sides. So the vertex represents the angle which is different, and it's across from the base. Okay, we have an example here. So the isosceles triangle has three sides and three angles, and these are the two sides are identical, 23 and 23 measurement, and the third side is 11, and then the two angles opposite those two identical sides are 82 and 82 degrees, and the angle opposite the third non-identical side, or the base, is the vertex angle, which is 16 degrees, which is different from the other two. So in an isosceles triangle, if you're given the angle for the base angle, you will be able to find the vertex angle. So knowing that you have both of the angles being the same, so if you're given one angle being 38 degrees for one base angle, and you don't know the vertex angle, you just go 2 times 38 plus the unknown angle, you can put x or whatnot, equals 180 degrees, and you solve, and you get 180 minus 76 equals 104 is going to be the measurement for your vertex angle, which happens to be obtuse in this case, but it could be anything. Obviously, if you're given one side of the isosceles, like being 14, for example, the opposite side is 14 as well. They're identical. So if you're given one base angle is 66, and you're trying to find the vertex angle, in a different example, 180 minus 2 times 66, so 180 minus 132, the vertex angle will be 48 degrees. In this case, it's acute. So the larger the base angles, the smaller the vertex.